Good morning. I'm the Reverend Jen Raffensperger, and I am honored to serve as the minister of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of York. Glad to see you all. Those of you who are joining us in person here in the sanctuary, I'm glad to see you all who are joining us online. Looks like we've got more than 20 folks online again as well, so I'm so delighted to see this community continue to find new ways to be together. And this morning, I am very honored to note that we have two guest speakers with us, Maureen, Joyce, and Carrie Breschi of the I'm Fine Project. You're going to hear more from them. They are taking care of the sermon message today. It's very special for us to begin May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month, in this way, to consider our own well-being, health and well-being in every part of our body, mind, and spirit. And in that spirit, I invite you to settle yourself, to prepare for worship, to become as comfortable as you can in body and as clear as you can in mind, and to make space in yourself to hear worship and to experience worship as you listen to the sound of the bell.
We now light the chalice, the symbol of our living faith. If you are joining us online, you may wish to light a candle or chalice of your own. I invite you to hear today's chalice lighting words, "Bring Your Broken Alleluia Here," by the Reverend Teresa I. Soto. Bring your broken alleluia here. Bring your large one that is beyond repair. Bring the small one that's too soft to share. Bring your broken alleluia here. I know that people have told you that before you can give, you have to get yourself together. They overstated the value of perfection by a lot, or they forgot. You are the gift. We all bring some broken things, songs and dreams, and long-lost hopes. But here and together, we reach within. As a community, we begin again. And from the pieces, we will build something new. There is work that only you can do. We wait for you. Our opening song or hymn is number 1053, "How Could Anyone?" We invite you to join us in please singing along.
Could anyone fail? that your loving is a miracle. How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Good morning, all. Good morning. My name is Matthew Shinneman. I am the Director of Lifespan Faith Development here at UCY, and it is a pleasure to be with you this morning. I have a wonderful storybook to share with you this morning, and it is called Share Some Kindness, Bring Some Light by April Stott. Now, if you will bear with me, I do like to do voices. Coco and Bear were friends from almost the first time that they met. They were very different. Bear was big, Coco was small. Bear was shy, Coco was brave. But they were exactly alike in the most important way. "I like that you're kind," said Coco. "That's my favorite thing about you too," said Bear. "I also like that you're such a good dancer," said Coco. "I wish the animals knew all the good things that you know about me," sighed Bear. "They don't," said Coco. "They say that I must be mean and because I'm so big, and some of them are afraid of me." "Noodle strudel," said Coco in disbelief. "Yeah," said Bear, sniffling. Coco gave Bear a big, tight hug, because that's what made her feel better whenever she was sad. After Bear got some of his sadness out, Coco said, "My grandma always says, when life gets dark as winter's night, share some kindness, bring some light. If we can do that, maybe the other animals will see what a good, kind bear you are." "But how do you share kindness?" said Bear. Coco thought for a moment. "I think kindness must be something that you can give away, like a gift." "We can make cookies to share," suggested Bear. "Yeah," said Coco. "But how do we bring light?" asked Bear. "Let's make lanterns," said Coco. "They're cozy." "I have supplies in my cave that we can use," offered Bear. And here they are, baking cookies and making lanterns. When they were finished, they loaded up Bear's sled with all of their gifts. "Ready?" said Coco. Bear nodded. "Ready." But then he whispered, "And a little scared." "It's okay to be scared," said Coco, "so long as you don't let the scariness stop you from sharing kindness and bringing light." The first stop was Badger's house. Badger was not impressed. "I only eat cookies with worms in them," he said grumpily. "Would you like a lantern instead?" asked Bear. "How am I supposed to sleep all day with that light in here?" said Badger. "No, thank you." Next, they tried Rabbit's house. "Why would you bring me gifts?" asked Rabbit. "We want to show you how kind my friend Bear is," said Coco hopefully. "Well, what if you tricked me? The bear wouldn't want to be friends with a small rabbit like me. No, thank you." They didn't have much luck with Hedgehog or with Skunk either. "I'm ready for a break," said Bear. "Well, maybe we need to make some different gifts and try again tomorrow," said Coco. And the walk home was cold, and the only sound was the crunch of paws and boots through the snow. Until Did you hear that? Asked Bear. It's coming from over there, said Coco, pointing. And she leaped off the path and snuck right in the snow. Quick, climb on my back, said Bear. Help! Came the cry again. And off they went in search. Why, it's a baby deer, said Coco. What are you doing way out here, she asked. I went on an adventure, said Baby Deer, shivering. Oh, we love adventures, said Bear. I do too, said Baby Deer, but now I'm stuck. Don't be afraid, said Coco. We can help you. How? Asked Baby Deer. You can ride on my back too, said Bear. Baby deer, where are you? The animals cried as they searched. Here I am, shouted Baby Deer. I got stuck in the snow, but Coco and Bear found me. They gave me a ride home. Oh, thank you, said Mama Deer. Wow, good thing Bear is so big, exclaimed Rabbit. And brave, said Hedgehog. And friendly, added Skunk. I guess he is a kind bear, grumbled Badger. Bear, did you hear that? They finally figured out that you're kind, exclaimed Coco. But I don't understand, said Bear. They didn't want our cookies or lanterns. Well, actually, your lanterns came in handy after all, but helping Baby Deer showed how kind you really are, explained Mama Deer. But we just helped because it was the right thing to do, said Coco. Exactly, said Mama Deer. I guess kindness is about giving away love instead of gifts, said Bear. It's doing something nice without expecting to get anything in return. Coco looked up at the stars. I think I get it now. Get what? He asked. When life is getting dark as winter night, share some kindness, bring some light. Coco grinned and started tapping her foot. But Bear, there's still one thing that they don't know about you. That Bear loved to dance.
Use your mind to be kind, be smart, use your heart, intend to be a friend, then do it all over again. Use your mind to be kind, be smart, use your heart, intend to be a friend, kindness never ends. Even if someone acts mean to me, kindness is my guide on how to be. I can use words that are encouraging and pick someone up who is in need. Use your mind to be kind, be smart, use your heart, intend to be a friend, then do it all over again. Use your mind to be kind, be smart, use your heart, intend to be a friend, kindness never ends. We all need someone who is listening. We can all be friends and not bully. We can use kind words like thanks and please, and be kind to the animals, plants, and trees. Use your mind to be kind, be smart, use your heart, intend to be a friend, then do it all over again. Use your mind to be kind, be smart, use your heart, intend to be a friend, kindness never ends. Treat others how you want to be treated, and your kindness can be repeated. In a world where you can be many things, be kind. A message from your friends and wine. Use your mind to be kind, be smart, use your heart, intend to be a friend,
is from the book by Tara Brach. The reading is called Please May I Be Kind. The book is entitled Trusting the Gold, Uncovering Your Natural Goodness. She writes, one of my favorite quotes is taped to a wall in my office. To be kind, you must swerve regularly from your path. I need this as a reminder. Like so many, when I'm caught up in my busyness, trying to cross things off the list and on my way to somewhere else, I'm not so sensitive to opportunities to be kind. My attention is goal-directed, and my heart can be tight. A psychological study done at Princeton Theological Seminary revealed a lot about how this kind of narrow self-focus can get in the way of bringing compassion to our world. To look at the impact of time pressure on helpful behavior, the researchers told a group of seminary students that they would be crossing campus to a classroom where each would present a talk on the biblical parable of the Good Samaritan. As the students knew, in that story, two important religious people pass right by a man on the street who clearly needs help. The only person who stops to assist him is someone who's considered a social outcast. Some of the students were told that they had just a few minutes to get to the classroom before the session for their talks to begin. Others were told that they had enough time to get there on schedule. Then they were all sent individually on a route that would take them past a man, one of the researcher's associates, who was slumped in a doorway, coughing and obviously in need of help. Despite the fact that they were all on their way to present a talk about the Good Samaritan, only 10% of the students in the time-pressured group stopped to offer help. More than half, 63% of those in the group that was less hurried, stopped. I share this study frequently because our world desperately needs us to take care of each other. And swerving from our scheduled paths is not something that we easily do. Focusing on our own concerns and stress can put us in a trance, covering over the natural sensitivity and compassion. Over the years, I've found a daily practice that helps my heart wake up from this goal-oriented trance. Each morning at the end of my meditation, I pray to remember throughout the day to be kind. Sometimes I simply whisper, please may I be kind. And I often scan to see who I might be in touch with that day so I can stay attuned to kindness when I'm with them. At the end of the day, I reflect back to see if I was open-hearted with others. There is a sense of gladness when I see that I was, and when I realize the times I didn't swerve to be kind, I am accepting of this with compassion and with gratitude that I noticed. This allows me to deepen the resolve that my heart may continue to awaken. A reflection. Can you recall situations during the past week where you did swerve from your path to be kind? Situations where you wish you had swerved. You might ask yourself every morning, today, what will help me remember to be kind? And then check in each evening, reviewing the day with self-compassion to support the awakening of your heart. Next, we will have music from The Greatest Showman called This Is Me. Please feel free to move your body in any way that feels good to you. Yes, this might include dancing.
Hello, I'm Carrie Breschi.
Maureen, Joyce, but you can call me Mojo.
She's got a lot of mojo, I can tell you. So we're what you call community engaged artists. So what does a community engaged artist mean? So we create art by the community, for the community, and with meaning and purpose as to what the community needs. So today, it's a real privilege. It's such a privilege for us to be.
Thank you.
Reverend Jen, Janelle, we have seen little interactions with you, and we know that this is a caring community. And we could tell that when we came in, because there is this swarm of people in the kitchen making food for each other. We also know that you probably, when you came in, probably said, "How are you?" And I'll bet you got some responses of,
I'm fine.
lots of "I'm fines," right? I'm fine, it's what we say. But do we ever stop to question that statement? I'm fine. I wonder if the person you were talking to, are they "I'm fine"? It's something that we often say when we're not fine. I mean, chances are right now, right? Right now, we are probably fine. We didn't have a pandemic. We haven't been isolated for 2 years. Teens aren't struggling. I work with teens. If you have a teen, you know teens are struggling. Jobs, isolation. Then you bring it to present day. On our TVs, we're seeing images of Ukraine. We've got the threat of nuclear war. Let's get even less than that. Okay, it's still winter. What is happening here? Or maybe, just maybe, our brains are ill, or maybe they're just not working properly and we need to find help. So where do we find help? Therapists? Oh, I'm sorry. Therapists are a little underpaid, overworked, struggling to find time to fit every single person in. It's hard. Oh, and then the healthcare system. Man, that's easy to navigate. I don't know if you're in the arts world, 8-point font, 15 pages, trying to navigate. You've been there, navigating.
Yes.
So we're here to say to you, news alert, we're in a mental health crisis. News alert, you can make a difference.
You know, I know firsthand about mental health struggles. I lost my son Patrick 3 years ago. He completed his life. I knew he was going through things, but I didn't know how to talk about them. After the event, I didn't know how to talk about them. I slept for a long time. I didn't know how to get out of bed. But eventually, I found a way to get back into who I am by making my art. Started pounding the clay. Testify. In making my art, I realized I needed my community back. So I went back to the art center that I taught at and enjoyed the company of people there. And Carrie and I started talking. And we started I'm Fine. So really, what does I'm Fine project look like? It's about conversations in a safe environment where we can get together with others. This began, what?
2019?
2019.
With me saying, we will make 10 masks, we'll do one workshop.
Right. Well, that one workshop turned into 20 workshops. And that one mask that we use to talk about what we wear to face the world with our mental health hidden behind, or to be strong to go out into the world, ended up eventually not with 200 masks, as Carrie and I first predicted, but 500 masks now. 500 masks of brave people in an environment where they felt comfortable enough to share what they were experiencing, and then therefore we can share in the form of exhibits so other people can be empowered by that experience.
So we started in Carlisle. We talk about this. We've been in York. We've been in York for a year. I hope you know how special your community
It really is.
It's amazing. And from there, we'll go across the state. We'll go to Pittsburgh, we'll go to Perry County, we'll go to Philadelphia, and we'll end in the capital. And it'll be this thread of mass and stories and people being vulnerable and talking about this conversation. It'll be the thread that ties us all together. We've done a lot of research about mental health. Janelle, you've taught us a lot. But what we found is mental health and emotions are complicated. But kindness is really simple. It's simple. There was a woman who was in our workshop, and we were doing a series of 3.
Right.
And in the second one, she told us a story, how she was at her office, and everyone in the leadership roles were mocking and making fun of someone who was struggling with mental illness. This is fun, yeah. So, thank you. It happens. What did we say? Perfection doesn't exist.
No.
So she went into the office and she said, here I've been in the last year covering up my own mental health struggles. I couldn't talk about my own because I was afraid everyone would make fun of me. But she said in that moment, I knew this woman was struggling. I knew she was only going to spiral down. So what she did was she stood up for that woman, and she stood up for herself. And she said, I struggle with mental illness. And it's a thing, and it's a real thing that happens to people. And you shouldn't be mocking. You shouldn't be demeaning her. You should be acting out in kindness and saying, how can I be there for you? Because a community is not one person. It's 2 people, or it's 3 people, or it's all of us working together. And it just took that conversation. Kindness is not about just reaching out and you benefiting, that person benefiting who you're reaching out to. Guess what? When you create that act of kindness, guess who it benefits most? You.
That's right.
It makes you live longer. Studies have shown that. There's neurotransmitters in the brain that say, guess what? This makes me feel good. And it helps your self-esteem and your compassion. I mean, we've had many stories.
Absolutely. Well, there was a woman, let's say her name was Maxine. She shared her story. She had never shared her story. She was probably
70s.
Yep. But in sharing that story, she cried for the first time that she was able to cry. Then there's a story about the many stories, but one specifically, when we were working with the nurses of the ICU department at WellSpan. And the nurse said to us, in this environment where she could feel comfortable enough to say, you know, so often I had to say, you're going to be fine. And she knew in her heart, they may not be fine. But she was able to share that story with us. So in doing that, once again, she helped herself by getting that out, and she helped us by empathizing for her situation and realizing that we're not alone in that thought.
So back in our day, I don't know how many of you are back in our day, but we didn't talk about mental health. We just did not talk about it. And I remember feeling like I had to be the perfect mother, I had to be the perfect spouse, I had to be the perfect worker, I had to be the perfect artist. I still feel that way sometimes. And then I realized, which you get reminded of it, but then you still have in your brain that perfection, it doesn't exist, but we all feel like we have to be perfect. Fast forward 40 years, we're just scratching the surface of talking about mental health. So we are here and we are in our workshops asking all of you to talk about it, to talk about how you feel. You know, there are times when we might get frustrated, but if you take a pause, a minute, a breath, time to listen, to share together. I mean, you have a story with Patrick that you want to share?
Yes, so we planned on meeting at 5. I like to be on time, typically. And at 5:40, Pat still wasn't there. And I was frustrated. We had this plan. I looked down the street, and here's my son pushing someone in a wheelchair. And they're talking and giggling. Wow, what a lesson, right? His joy was shared with the person that he was pushing along the street. And in helping each other, they found so much joy.
So every act of kindness, this is all about kindness today.
Absolutely.
There's not a small act of kindness. There's only enormous acts of kindness. We want all of you, we want all of your children to be able to remove the mask that they wear, to be vulnerable, to take mental health struggles seriously, to talk to people when they're not fine and when they are fine, and to listen. Listen to their answers, because a minute of being kind can make someone else's day. But guess what? It can make your day. So next time you ask, how are you? And someone says,
I'm fine.
maybe pause, consider taking the time to ask, are you really fine? Thank you.
Thank you.
join us in extinguishing our chalice and your home chalices if you have lit them with these words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Extinguish the chalice here, so that it might glow gently in our hearts. May it light your path as you leave this place. May it guide your way until we are together again.
Thank you. Thank you, Carrie and Maureen, for being here. Janelle, thank you for bringing this project and these people to my attention that brings them to this community. Thank you for your gifts that you've brought with us today, including the gift of kindness. And all I can think to end worship is those words of that well-beloved and somewhat crotchety old Unitarian Kurt Vonnegut. Damn it, babies, you've got to be kind. Go forth. Be kind. May we be so.
For everyone born a place at the table, for everyone born clean water and bread, a shelter, a space, a safe place for growing, for everyone born a star overhead, and all will delight when we are creators of justice and joy. Yes, all will delight when we are creators of justice and joy. Justice